y'all so much for being here. Listen, I love you too. Y'all are giving so much joy today. I love it so much. Thank y'all for coming, and thank you for your amazing energy. It's always so beautiful and so right on time. I do love your energy. Listen, all right, let's get into this thing. Listen, I always get excited when I hear from you guys, and this happy place that Braden sent me will have you on the edge of your seat. Y'all, please, check this out.
Hey Jennifer, it's Braden. I'm here in the beautiful state of Utah. My happy place is in the air, in and among these canyons. I'm gonna take you on a bass ride with me, so hold on tight. Ooh, if this isn't love, then I don't know what it is. I don't know. I sing when I get scared, you know? All right, Jennifer, hang on. We're going in 3, 2, 1, see ya. Thanks for coming along. Jennifer, you gotta try this.
Braden, I can't do that one. Oh my God. Ooh, that was adventurous. What I do love, first of all, Braden, he made it down there to the land. That I can't do, y'all. But as my mama would say, to each his own. Whatever your happy place is, I will support you wholeheartedly, long as it make you happy. Do whatever makes you happy. And you know what else I love, though? I caught it. He was singing my song before he jumped. Now, Braden, what I could do is stand at the bottom of the cliff, and I could sing you on your way down. But what Jennifer will not do and cannot do is do that with you. But you keep on doing what you're doing because it makes you happy, baby, and I love seeing it. Thank you for sharing that with us, Braden. That was amazing. Woo! Now, if you want to share your happy place with us, go to our website at jenniferhudsonshow.com or to our socials and send me a video. Now, I want to see all the places that make you guys smile. Can you do that for me? You know what puts a smile on my face? Working with my old fadunta-dunt, my best friend, Walter. Y'all, he got his hands on some of the Jennifer Hudson Show t-shirts and sweatshirts. Check this out, y'all. He is wearing it. Oh, I can't wait. Model it, friend, yes! Yes, let me see you. Oh, my God! Listen, this is giving me so much life. This is my best friend. My life partner and all, and he is the shyest person there is. So he put all his heart in it. Y'all, this took all the courage out of him to model. Look, he put it on. So y'all give him, I'm so proud of you, friend. Good job. That's not his happy place though, but I love it. Anyway, make sure to go to our website and order your t-shirts, sweatshirts, and mugs, and more does not mean Walter. Let's be, no, because he is my Wally doll, and it's only for me. He is not included. You know? Okay, but make sure you check out the merchandise. He did well, didn't he, y'all? All right, our first guests are talented best friends who not only act, dance, and sing, but they also make their own wine. Please welcome Julianne Hough and Nina Dobrev. Woo, y'all look so gorgeous. You feel the love?
Thank you.
Now, Nina, we have never met, so nice to meet you, and thank you for being here.
You're so beautiful.
You're
it's so lovely to
beautiful.
meet. I mean, I'm a fan. I've been following your career for years, so.
I'm a fan as well, and Julianne, you know, that's my buddy over there, y'all.
Love you.
We've known each other for quite a while now.
Years and years and years,
Do you remember when we first met?
I don't know if you remember when we first met.
Let's see.
Okay, so I was dancing on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
I had this like peach dress on. I was dancing with my brother, which you know very well.
Yes.
Oh, right there.
Yes.
And there you are. You were singing, and I remember I was like so giddy, so excited because I watched you on American Idol and your career and everything, and then you came to perform and just, what am I wearing, by the way?
You look good, whatever you're wearing.
Literally no skirt.
Yeah, where's the clothing?
I don't know. But I was so excited. Me and my brother, we were just thrilled to meet you and dance to your song and everything. And then we've had so many intersections with Hairspray Live with Derek and Broadway last year when you got your EGOT.
Y'all are good luck charms, I like to think. Now, listen, I gotta say this. I don't know if you know, but when I performed Spotlight on here, in my mind, I outdanced you all.
With your vocal cords.
Listen, I went home and I was like, they must have panned the camera away from my Michael Jackson move and split. But turns out all I was moving was my knee and my shoulder. I really went home looking for my dance moves. So I get to finally say that to you. Like, did they take it out or I really thought I outdanced you.
You crushed it.
She's like, Jennifer, are you serious? I'm dead serious. But literally all I have is my knee and my shoulder. But congratulations, because back then you were a contestant dancing.
Yeah, so
And now you're a co-host.
Yeah, so
I
started. You know what? It's first full circle. I feel so blessed. I started as a pro dancer. I came back as a judge, and now I'm going to be back as a co-host. So, yeah, full circle. Back in the family. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, how did you two ladies meet? You're best friends and everything.
Yeah, we actually met through our mutual hairstylist. I mean, everybody knows that when you go to the salon, you end up, they're your therapist, essentially. And I think our hairstylist,
there you go,
kind of got sick of being our therapist. So she was like, you guys need to get together and figure it out. And so we did, and she was right. We ended up clicking immediately, and it's been incredible ever since. That was like over
10 years.
And you two love to travel? You went somewhere really cool for your birthday. Tell us about that.
We went to what we like to call now Indonina, instead of Indonesia, for Nina's birthday in January. And I mean, we travel all the time together, but this trip specifically was for Nina's birthday. And we just love to travel. We love adventure. We love sharing memories and creating memories together. I mean, that's what friendship is just, you know, creating long-lasting memories and experiences. And that was like a no-joke trip.
It was so fun. Yeah, it was so fun.
What's some of the fun stuff y'all got to do? Because there's some really cool pictures in a dope boat. I need this boat y'all had. Where's this boat at?
We lived on a boat for a week, and we jumped off the boat.
Right off of this area.
Yeah.
Yep, right here.
Yeah, we drank a lot of wine that we smuggled in. Yep.
Our wine.
We brought our own wine. We like put it in the suitcases and just drank and jumped and laughed and played games, and it was
swam with sharks. I mean,
you swam with sharks. What was that like?
It was great.
Great.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Wow.
I mean, I'm pretty used to, I swim with sharks a lot, which I know sounds kind of crazy and probably sounds like scary or whatever. And I was scared when I first went, which is why I did it. But once I got in the water with them, the clip that they were just showing a second ago was me in the water with a tiger shark. No cage. And they're actually very, I mean, you have to be cautious in the water, obviously, but they're misunderstood giants, in my opinion. And so I like to promote and protect and talk about them as much as I can because the population is reclining.
That's
declining.
amazing.
declining.
And reclining.
Y'all are such friends. Oh my God, that was like choreographed. Do you ever go skydiving?
Yeah.
Yes, we've actually both been, but not together. So I feel like that's next on our list together that we have to do.
I'm surprised we haven't done
I know,
that.
it's weird.
Wow. And you hung out with penguins? Mm-hmm. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I recently went also to Antarctica, which is, and there's the penguins right there. They're so cool. Happy Feet. I mean, I feel like we've all seen Happy Feet. I got to live with Happy Feet. Look at the little babies. That's like, yeah, little babies. Oh, little babies. Anyway,
How cold is it there?
oh my God, it's freezing.
It is.
It's freezing.
And it was
freezing.
like summertime.
It was
too.
summer, and it was freezing.
Summertime and it was freezing.
Yeah, it's the opposite there. We went over New Year's, and it's summer there at that point. But it's, you can't. I mean, we were in layers upon layers upon layers, and it was still chilling beyond belief. But we still got in the water. We did cold plunges every day.
Ooh, I don't like to be cold.
Yeah.
I could do that. And you both spent a bit of time in New York, and you got a new place. What was your first night like?
Oh my gosh. So New York has always been a dream of mine to live there, and I went for a play last year, and it was amazing. But like my first experience, I'm so excited. I'm about to move in. I have rehearsal the next day, and I had just gone to a basketball game. So like we stayed out and we had dinner afterwards. So I didn't get home till like 1:30 in the morning. I go in, I get ready for bed. Fortunately, I'm on the phone. And I was like, ooh, I didn't lock the door. So I leave my bedroom door, and it shuts behind me as I go downstairs to like lock the main door. And as it shuts behind me, I'm like, that'd be crazy if that just like shut and locked. I walk upstairs, totally locked me out. I'm like literally in my PJs, which is not a lot. It's kind of like that dress.
I was gonna say,
And thank God I had my phone, because I was like, what do? I have rehearsal in the morning. I need to be prepared. I don't have a charger. How am I gonna wake up? I don't have an alarm. So I had to call a locksmith at 2 o'clock in the morning, my first night in New York City.
No.
So the girl from Utah. And I, had the locksmith come, and not only did they have to break in, but they actually had to change the lock completely. So they were drilling to get through the door. There was like metal shards all over. And then it was like, okay, bye. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, that was my first night in New York City.
no.
But I love it, and it's a story, and I will always remember it.
Okay,
So,
and you haven't been locked out since, right?
I have not. Yeah, and look, I had zero furniture except for 2 mushroom tops, but I did have our wine, fresh wine, and I was drinking it out of a mug. So that was like my first night in New York City.
Oh, I love it. Will y'all stick around for a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
All right, more with Julianne and Nina. We'll be right back. We're back with Julianne and Nina. Okay, can we talk about your amazing wine, fresh vine wine? Yeah. How did it get started?
Well, Julianne and I did a lot of market research over the years. We drank a lot of wines, and we bonded over our love for wine, but we always felt kind of guilty because, you feel like you have to choose one or the other, and then we realized that there was a bit of a gap in the market because we're the kind of people who love to have a great time, but we also like to work out, we like to be healthy, steam sauna, and we're health-conscious people, and so we wanted to create something that we felt like didn't exist, that was a premium product, which is fresh fine wine. It tastes good and it's guilt-free.
Like Nina said, it is the most premium wine you'll ever taste, ever. But also like the low calorie, the low sugar helps you feel like, oh, I can actually have my regular day, my lifestyle that I'm used to the next day and feel great about it, so.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. So we have the Pinot, we have a Cabernet, we have a Sauv Blanc, a Chardonnay, and for the summer, because it's about to be summer, the Rosé is my personal favorite refreshing bottle.
Ooh. Well, in honor of you two being here, we came up with a game called Spill the Wine. I'll ask you a question about each other. You use your paddles.
Okay.
And to reveal which one you think this is about. Okay? So here's the first one. You ready, ladies?
Yeah. Ready.
Okay. Who's more likely to do the dishes right away after a meal? Oh! They do everything in sync. I could tell y'all are like true best friends. This is amazing. Okay, who's more likely to text on my way when they're still getting ready? Y'all are good. Oh my God. Who's more
I did
likely
it this morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who's more likely to cry while watching TV? Wow!
That was so weird.
Y'all is good best friends.
We like each other.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's adorable. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Will you come back and see it?
Of course.
You're amazing. Congratulations. Fresh Vine wine is available for everyone over 21 years old in stores now and online at freshvinewine.com. We'll be right back. Our next is incredible. He's a storm chaser who put his life on the line to save a family as their home was being destroyed. From Kirkland, Illinois, please welcome Jonny Gabel. So tell us, you're a storm chaser. Can you explain what that is?
Yes, yeah, there's nothing like it. It's something that I've been passionate about ever since I was a little kid. And I kind of wish it wasn't so, but it's absolutely because of that movie Twister, which is, it's still my favorite movie in the whole world, and it probably always will be. But it's hard to put into words, but there's nothing like it. And it's just been really important to me that I also find a way to help people when I'm storm chasing as well. So when there's these crazy storms that hit, I'm always doing my best to make sure I'm one of the first people, or being very close, and yeah, it sounds scary because it kind of is. We get close to the tornadoes, but that's so that we can be there in the situation or in the event that there's a dire situation, as in there's a violent tornado that, destroys a town, unfortunately. And if we can be there in those first few minutes, we can also potentially save some lives. Because sometimes we're there 5 or 10 minutes before EMTs or police officers arrive, and those 5 or 10 minutes make a world of difference.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Yes.
All right? and you were there for the tornado in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. How bad was that one?
That was like nothing I've ever seen. It's hard to put into words. Oh my gosh, just absolutely terrifying. That storm produced 2 tornadoes that night, and they were on the ground for almost a total of 200 miles, which is incredibly rare. So beyond that, it produced EF4 tornadoes, which that just basically means there's upwards of 200-mile-per-hour winds, and it just causes just catastrophic damage to the places that it hits.
Can you tell us about the family you helped rescue?
Yeah, well, gosh, after we got into the town of Rolling Fork, that was the first problem, was finding our way into the town, because everything was blocked off. The streets were blocked off. There were trees down everywhere. There were power lines down everywhere. I mean, it was just absolute chaos. And I said it was like walking through a minefield. And somehow we found our way into the areas that were damaged the worst. And once we finally got through this minefield of like hazards, we heard a woman yelling from pretty far away at that point, but that became our focus. So once we found the area where the family was, once we got to that house, it was very eerie because the TV inside of the house was still just sitting on the dresser, like untouched, unaffected. But the roof was ripped off, most of the walls were ripped off, part of the house was totally caved in. And then the grandmother was just sitting in that bedroom. Again, the TV was sitting on the dresser, and it didn't move an inch. But we said, hey, it's not safe in this house, because all the smoke alarms were going off, and we were worried about other hazards like gas leaks, or there were also still exposed electrical wires in the house at that moment. So it was at that moment when the little girl, who I've been calling her like a beacon of hope, she put her arms up, and she wanted me to pick her up. And I looked at the mother, and I said, is it okay if I pick her up? And she said, oh yeah, of course. So I did exactly that. And just being able to hold that little girl and just... being able to pick her up and hold her and just know that she was safe, and then also that the rest of the family was safe, is just something that I'll never forget. And in that moment, I feel like that was what I needed.
That's a blessing that you were able to be there to help them. Have you been able to see the family since you were help rescue them?
Well, I didn't get their phone numbers or their information when we were leaving, and the next day I woke up and I kind of regretted that and wished I had done that. So I put the video out on TikTok and I said, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of this family. I'm trying to hopefully help them rebuild their house. I'm trying to do anything that I can possibly do for them because I've been doing carpentry ever since I was a little kid. That's been my other thing, is just building things. And that's one way I knew I could help the family and help them quickly, because I was worried and concerned that they weren't the only ones in Rolling Fork, Mississippi who don't have home insurance. It's a very common thing with a lot of neighborhoods in the country, but I just had a bad feeling about it. So I put that video out on TikTok, and then their cousin saw it, their cousin who lives in California, and then they got in touch with the grandmas or her son, and then he got in touch with me, and then it's just been this unbelievable, I'd say, godsend. Because
You're a godsend, though. Will you stick around for a little bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll meet that family when we come back. After this, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're here with storm chaser Jonny Gabel, and now let's bring out the family he helped rescue. Come on out, Maggie, Rosalind, and Brooklyn. Thank y'all so much for being here. How does it feel to reunite and see each other since?
Oh, cathartic, or geez, heartwarming.
Maggie, tell us about the night that the tornado destroyed your home.
That night was very terrifying. I had just left my best friend's home, and we stayed on different sides of the town. But it wouldn't have took me about 5 or 6 minutes to get home. And she called me, and she was just hysterical, just hollering. I said, what's going on? She said, the tornado hit my house. Please tell me you're at home. I said, no, but I'm crossing the hill. I'll be there in a minute. And at that time, she just screamed, and the phone went out. So I immediately called my mom, because she was home with my babies. And I told her, I said, Mom, the tornado's coming to get somewhere safe. Just get somewhere safe. And I hung up. About 30 seconds, the tornado picked my truck up. I was crossing the hill, and it picked my truck up in the air and put me in a parking lot. And all I can do, I called home real quick. I said, Mom, I'm in the tornado, and she didn't hear anything else. And at that time, it was terrifying. All you saw was like, I can't even say what it was, just debris and stuff just flying everywhere. All my windows busted out in my truck as I was in there just sitting, praying. All I kept saying was, I have to get home to my mom and my kids. And like where I was only like a 5-minute walk. But it took me about an hour and a half to get home, crossing over trees and power lines, and semi-trucks was on top of semi-trucks. And it was terrible. And once I saw the area where we stayed, I just broke down, because I thought the worst because of how everything was torn up and houses was torn up. And once I got on the street, I couldn't hardly get down. I had to go under wires and just pray that they wouldn't laugh, because it was raining, and it was terrible. It was just terrible. It was terrifying. But I just thank God that we made it.
You made it.
Through everything that was going on, we made it.
Yes, ma'am. Rosalind and Brooklyn, how scary was the tornado when it hit your house for you?
Well, at first, I thought that it was just like a real storm, just rain and wind and stuff. But my grandma, she heard it, and she said, it's a tornado getting in the hallway. So once we got in the hallway, that's when my mom called my grandma, and she said, I'm in a tornado, and that's all we heard. And she hung up. Then as soon as she hung up, like 10 seconds later, the roof came off, and Brooke was right here, so I had to grab her and put her in front of me, and we had to hug each other. And then the walls caved in, the roof went away, and walls just caved in. I was scared. But when it was over, I was even more scared, because I didn't know where she was. I was so scared. I thought I lost her, but she was okay.
Wow. And how did you feel when Johnny decided he wanted to help you rebuild your home?
Johnny has been saying it was God sent, and that's what I've been saying, that it is God sent, and it is divine favor that someone wants to help us, didn't know anything about us, and God knows what he's doing, you know, through it all, he knows what he's doing. We're a close-knit family, me and my mom and my brothers, so everything that we had was just what we had. You know, we worked hard for everything that we had. So for someone to come in and say, hey, I want to do this for you, it's just amazing. And we know that God does everything for a reason. And I do know that we're gonna come out better than we were before.
Yes, you will. Yes. And Johnny, what do you need to help rebuild their home?
Well, geez, my goal is to get not just, but it's going to cost a lot of money. But my goal is to get $50,000 so that will at least cover all of the materials and supplies. So, that'll cover the lumber, and that'll cover the shingles, and that'll cover all of the materials and supplies. And then if that's all that we can get, and that's what we have to make do with, then that's okay. At least we have enough to purchase everything we need to rebuild the house. And then at that point, I have some other people, they're godsends as well, who they've been inspired by this story, and they want to help me rebuild that house as well. It's just been a beautiful thing. So that's the goal. We got to get to that amount, and by the grace of God, or by somehow we're going to get it. Somehow we'll get there and we'll make it happen.
Yes, I'm sure it will. You all have been so brave. And I always say, God always got somebody, honey. And that was you, Johnny. You are amazing, and you are brave.
Thank you.
And, Chad, you something else to go through a storm.
Yeah.
In the midst of the storm. But, we want to help y'all out, so we want to give you $5,000 to help you reach your goal. Hopefully that helps make the difference. Yes. Woo, we can't wait to see that house when you are finished building it. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll be right back. So tell us, you're originally from Nigeria.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The Igbo tribe, if you will.
Yeah, how did you end up coming here?
So my uncle came when he was probably in his early 20s, played soccer for a bunch of colleges, went to school. I was born with congenital glaucoma, so I was born blind in this eye, and I had vision in this eye. So he thought, well, let's get blessing to the States, hear my parents, treat the good eye, and we did that. And then, you guys are about to say, I got shot in the eye with a water gun. I told you. And so the rest of this vision kind of went. There's a little bit there, but not a lot. And then, lo and behold, as God does, okay?
Yes.
The piano, we got a piano right around when that happened. So all my energy running around outside, where I was like pretending I was Michael Jordan doing the hook shots, I just put it towards the piano, and I fell in love with that thing so hard. And here we are,
Yes, here we are.
They approved.
So how did you make that transition? How did you adjust?
It's funny because kids are just the most resilient things ever. In hindsight, I have no idea. I don't know. But in the moment, I was like, okay, well, I have a lot of 12-year-old energy I got to put somewhere.
Yeah.
And the piano was right there. So I was like, this is fun. And then it just became a thing I couldn't stop doing, Yeah.
And so that's how you built your interest in music.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's been in Africa, they're just musical people where I'm from, you know what I mean? But
Yes.
we are also school people, so when I came to the States and I was like, I'm gonna be a musician, my parents are like, what? 'Cause my uncle's a lawyer, everybody's got degrees. So I was like, I'm gonna do this thing called songwriting. And they're like, that's not on the list.
You put it on the list, huh?
I put that on the list.
I noticed. So tell me, who are some of your musical inspirations?
I mean, everything Motown.
Yes.
Right? everything Michael, Donnie, Stevie, just the giants, you know what I mean? As you probably know.
Oh,
right?
yes, I know.
Yes.
You know I know. Oh, yes, sir. Okay, tell us about your debut album.
My Tribe, which you guys just heard. So, you know, genre's a weird thing people like to discuss ad nauseum. I call my music the genre of humanity. Okay?
Nice.
And only because what I admire a lot about Motown and music from, you know, that like 30-year time span is like it was music that had this purpose, and the purpose was to move the society kind of forward as the civil rights movement was happening and all this kind of stuff. And it was music that spoke to everybody that would listen to it. Even if you didn't want to be spoken to, music was so infectious, so real, so true, that it hit a nerve, and the nerve was just, are you human? And do you love? And the answer to that was yes. And if you feel those emotions, you're gonna get this music, whether you like it or not. And that's what I wanna do.
You better speak on today. We're so happy to have you. Will you come back again?
Girl, anytime, anytime.
We're gonna have some good musical moments. Okay. Bless's album, My Tribe, is available to stream or download everywhere you listen to music. We'll be right back. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.